If you're tuning in now, welcome. I welcome you, but please know that this is a continuation to video number 1. So if you are here, welcome. You are free to stay. You are free to do whatever the fudge you want. This is a healing channel, entertaining station that got disconnected the first video. And so this is video number 2. Continuing responsibly where I got fudge and cut off. So we're moving. By the way, this lovely sage bundle is by @Temporary, okay? So you can go over there and go see. I'm going to have all the information in the description box below. I recently just shared this recent bundle that she sent me, all purpled out, because I requested some purple-licious, delicious. And she sent me this beautiful bouquet that you can check out and see, because I have it in my stories saved too. But you could also follow her. You can do that for free @Pamperee, Pampuree. You know what I mean? Anyway. So we got cut off. I received a whole download as to the multitude of reasons why. It is what it is. Right? Either way, each of us are sent here to awaken. If you're here, you're awakened. I don't care what level of awakened you feel you are on or don't believe yourself to be on. If you are here, you are awakened in some motherfudging way. Or let I be the catalyst to you too, in the emergence of you. That'd be cool. Either way, I'm continuing from where we got cut off, because there was much importance to that. There was direction in that. There was filling in the cracks, right? I even went outside. I went outside in the grass after we got cut off and whatever, because I'm not exempt from growing, learning, implementing, and doing too. Like I said, each of us have our own experience, our own unique contribution. Even if the energies are similar, even if we do similar things, there's no one that can do what you do like you do, right? And the discovery of that part 2, that is you, that is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful state of awakening to be on. The more you unravel and uncondition your conditioning, right, the more authentically raw you are. Fudge what anybody gotta say. From this leveling state of a plane, right? We move things a different way. So come move with me. And shake it off. Shake it off. I'm hot again. It's because I went outside. So a little bit of time has passed. Sorry. There's more distractions, folks. There is a message to be delivered here, so if you are here, welcome, my dears. And we're gonna get through. And I slowed myself down too. How often you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders? So let self-love infuse and lighten the load too. I live symbolic in every kind of way. I apply pressure and I breathe in deep. As uncomfortable as this might seem or feel or be, or might touch on certain sensitive areas on my own entire body, or maybe I'm just tired and I don't want to do this. But I'm responsible for the energy I create. So let me masturbate to the alignment that I love waking up every single day to continuously work on in every single way, because elevations, evolution, that is what I feel inside as I continue to masterfully decode my codes, upload, purge, check the encrypted files that have been put into my system. Let me update this system, right? That requires me to move. So we're doing it. So all the pressure that puts itself down onto me, I release it free. So the weight I carry onto me, I release as I breathe. I release all that which does not serve me. I release all the weight that I foolishly sometimes put on myself that I am now allowing myself to remove. Even all those that I may not see so clearly too, because I'm learning. It's swollen. Not swollen, sore. Okay? I'm responsible for this vessel. And listen, don't look at what I do and be like, oh, I can't do that too, or that hurts me too. Do not use exactly what it is that I do with me, because that's comfortable with me. I'm here inviting you into a setting that is private for you, or or here to motivate and inspire you to move for you. So you do so in alignment that you discern that is best for you, and not do anything that you cannot do. Nobody here, this is not to hurt you. The pain that I feel when I apply this here is the pressure and the pain that I naturally feel when I put pressure here. So it's not like I'm causing excess pain to myself. I'm relieving bodily pain that I feel by applying pressure using this tool that I have available to me as my helper, you see, to do this for me. Okay? if you are under any kind of doctor guidelines, laws, whatever, rules and regulations that you are to, whatever you need permission to do, whatever you need to do, then you get that permission and then you move accordingly to however it is that you can. I just invite you to the energy of this alchemical space that allows for these things to take place. Breathe. Further extend. How many of you suffer from headaches? I used to get migraines years ago. Migraines that would make me vomit. I don't know when's the last time I got a migraine. Actually, there was one, I don't know, within the 2017, 2018 time. I don't know, I have no concept of time, but anyways, you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't suffer from migraines the way that I used to suffer from migraines, which were all stress related. Not self-created. You know, if you're not dealing with certain kinds of things, or if you're not transmuting intentionally things that come into your awareness, or if you're just not dealing with certain kind of things, and it's an energy that's created within your life of an experience, you're going to feel it in some kind of way. It's going to show itself in different ways. So if you get migraines, like, you know, bodily pain, if you suffer anxiety attacks, you know, it's like being in, so you can see, it's like being in pigeon pose right now. So my leg is like all the way straight back. Anyway, I just turned it on. That's just me. So this is a continuation of number 1. Wow, loving on ourselves, because that's what we do. We move things. So I invite you to join me to move things. You can do this by yourself. I'm using a camera to talk to you, but I can very much hear. I talk to myself all the time. I know when I talk to spirit. I know when I talk to other things, and I know when I talk to myself. Okay, I've learned to distinguish the many conversations that take place. Okay. If you do body work for a living, this feels good. Get yourself a roller. Alright. Right? I'm positioning my hands this way. Namaste, but I'm pressing the forces. Like here, this is like pressing together, right? Because it's causing me now to, in this position, force my elbows down onto this. So I'm pressing, guys, okay? I'm pressing and I'm pressing. Right? That I feel it. And then I'm going side to side. So in this positioning, it's causing me to keep still, like my upper torso of my body. Like, so my spine is aligned straight in this position. So my right hand is forcing itself onto my left hand is forcing itself onto the right. So they're pressing each other, like pushing, right? Right? Who's strong? So in that, it's my knees, call them my hornies. Listen, I know my jokes and I'm okay saying them. For the time of, right? So applying that, like another rocking position here. I wasn't going to show you that, but right? What I was saying was, so my spine, I'm sitting, right? My bum. Some people can do that. So you do it to where you can. Don't make the excuse that, oh, I can't go all the way down. That's the goal. You'll start somewhere. So if you stuck up here and you can't sit all the way down, that's fine. So maybe you can't do that. That's fine too. But just look at this. From wherever you and sing together. Breathing in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Right? Just like this. Right. Like that. Anyways. You could do this by yourself, talking, whatever it is that you need to let out as you song. Right over here, there's a point. You can press it, right? And feel it. It's like the attachment. Right? I felt it. Hold on. Point. Oh, I felt the point again. Let me get myself a bruise. New blood flow. Nice. Move those joints. Anyways, move what you want. Just move. Pigeon pose is great. If you don't move, who will move you? Like dead fish swimming with the flow. Right? Like the hamster going in the wheel. Depiction. If you're not the one moving it, and you're just moving still because you're moving still. It's like the zombies, the mundanes of this world. That they operate off of the robotic lifestyle. They're just conditioned to exist under. That's probably where we got cut off before. I don't know. Under a system that they are asked, not asked, just told to exist on, right? Which brings me back. If you are new here, welcome, okay? And if you are still tuning in with all of that, then yeah, evolution to you, my friend, welcome. I am actually moving slower in these two videos that I'm recording now because I am enchantress the babbler, that is I on this evolutionary high, and I usually tend to go into a channeling kind of thing, but there are messages in between that are being relayed here at this time, and I too am being the example of that in my own experience of expressing and sharing in a detailed kind of broken down kind of way, unconditioning that is happening here, an awareness that's being articulated for you to transmute to, for you as best as you can, as you navigate your own evolution, man, you know? So, and if you are watching this now, I hope you watched video number 1 because I'm going to reference that video too here, but it doesn't mean I'm going to go into what I said over there and say over here. Again, no, it's referencing. So if you don't know what the reference is, go watch it. after we got cut off, I was slightly annoyed. Like almost like that annoyed kind of self that I was talking about in video number 1 of this, in terms of when I first started my YouTube videos, where I was resisting the recording, and now I'm in a new place, new space, you know, new foundation that is allowing this new expression, right? And now implementing in this foundation, this 4-year, right? 2020 is a 4-year foundations building, right? A unification that's existing within me, right? The divine feminine, divine masculine energies, or just, you know, my own awakening and evolution that's happening here, right? And the contribution I bring that's unique all on its own, the discovery of that kind of zone, which is to each their own, right? You have yours, I have mine, even if it's all similar in signs that we receive and all this kind of stuff, but still, it's each of us is unique in whatever it is that we bring, right? And share collectively with care. And how I was referencing, and I was giving an example, and I was just breaking things down into parts about how we, in whatever leveling we are on, we're not comparing and contrasting that kind of leveling. What's coming into now is the bridging, the rainbow bridge that you are. And it's coming in strong. Yeah. So for the 50-50 of us that in our now, whenever you see these messages are timeless, for some, they're still being hit extra karmically hard, it might feel like. They might still be struggling or going through some drama, gossip, this, that, still having to deal with nonsense, right? Like, right? What feels like negativity, still having to go through the emotional turbulence that having to deal with things like that bring, right? Or feeling like it is, or being much more evolved now, granted, than 2-3 years ago, but like still dealing with nonsense, like, and still 50-50 with like, am I gonna give up? Am I gonna keep pursuing this? Am I gonna keep lying to myself? When am I gonna stop feeling this way? When is love gonna happen for me? When is this gonna happen for me? Why am I still struggling? Why is everything not firmly grounded? Why am I still like having to be hit with drama, with, you know, losing a job, or, you know, not making enough money, or, you know, kids misbehaving, or, you know, lover playing games, or, you know, loneliness, like whatever, like, you know, that's still incomplete, right? For the 50-50, right? Like I was using in the other video, the example of like how I have recurring clients that call, like in terms of intuitive guidance and readings and stuff like that. So like the ones that, let's say I gave the reading to back in 2017, 18, right? 2019. And in their reading, the shadow work comes up of what it is that they have to work on and do. And during the time from 2017, 18, 19, 2020, right, till now, they didn't do the real deep shadow work that they were supposed to, that they were being guided, but they did other stuff. Like, you know, so they were still doing work, like, you know, and then there was the other 50-50, right, that was doing it all. Done deal. right? So now, flash forward 2020, we have this, pandemic, and a lot of stuff has gone down, and a lot of like retrogrades going down, and a lot of like things coming up to be like purged and all this kind of stuff, right? And I'm not saying that for the ones that did it all, the work in 2017, 18, like whatever, and it was rock hard, solid, that everything's perfect. No. But their handling of everything is like a bulletproof vest. Right? And then the other 50-50 that didn't deal with the shadow work fully during that time. Well, here we have this karmic align that's happening at this time, that you're still feeling the impact of that life. And so it's like a stressful time still right now. And it's just like, why? Right? Ow. Right? So it's like a 50-50. Right? But still, the whole is, everyone's doing the work. Just at their own pace, on their own space, on their own whatever. Right? So, in video number 1, I was doing the feather portal circle, which got me into the babbling of breaking down so many different things, because the whole circle that was being asked to be visualized by the you that's watching, so that you can lighten more of your load, to throw it into this alchemized circle, right? For you to throw it into. And I said if I was tech savvy and all this kind of stuff, I would edit these videos back and create some kind of like visual that you can use, that you can see, that when I say do it now, answer 1, 2, 3, toss it in with clarity, which was also what brought the huge babbling of the breakdown, right? Of speaking all of this broken down layer by layer by layer, even though it goes everywhere, because 1, is that deep. 2, this is part of it for each of us, no matter where we are on our journey. And this includes me, and I'll share it with you too, please, so bear with me, because it's happening in this video for me. It's not, I don't expect for you to understand the whole entire compute download that's being registered for me right now in the terms of my own evolution of what's being bridged here, understood, innerstood, overstood, right? From my growth journey discovery, right? I'm working on the articulation factor of sharing in this whatever download channeling that's happening here for whomever is going to receive it, right? Right? The seed I bring is the expression, the articulation. I'm the conduit in that way. Everything else of how it's registered, that's not. I got nothing to do with me. Although it does. They don't. Right? Let's stretch it out. Please. Stretch. You have to make the time. If not now, when? My foot is stuck in there. And if not you, then who? you have around you is a prop. Okay? Everything you have around you is a prop. You don't have to have a full roller. I use the chairs. I use countertops. When I'm washing dishes, right? No, just even when I'm putting things in the dishwasher. One leg is extended up high as I stretch. Whatever time you make, it's a gift. And believe that the more that you devote to the creation of what it is that you do and how it is that you spend your time, that'll expand you to be more in favor of the you who puts in the work that you need to do these kind of things. I'm making lighter. I'm feeling brighter. I love connecting with my mind, body, heart, and soul. Truth be told, it makes me more bold, feeling alive. I stretch and I expand. I reach and I reach and I meet my mark. I accept and I smile. In love, I am with the all that is my vessel, you see. Created. We are to figure it out. Right? Right. So after we got disconnected the first time, I got slightly annoyed. Why? Because it reminded me of all the hiccups that I used to experience and encounter back in 2016, 17, 18. Right? In terms of recording for the channel that I was resisting. And how much nonsense would take place and how many videos I have recorded and lost or gave up on. Right? And my lack there of discipline in better handling the challenge. It played with my emotions, therefore my vibrations and my frequencies too, and therefore my experiences. Right? So So we had gotten disconnected. And I was like, I hope I didn't lose it, which I didn't. That was great, right? Because that was just backtracking to once upon a time when I did lose a lot of stuff. The other day, 2 videos from me. I recorded. No sound. And I recorded a 3rd. Which was also being highlighted for me at my growth at doing that. Because once upon a time ago, I was doing this way I don't want to. I said I want to record, I'm a writer. I'll just write on my blog. And get mad and not do what I was being guided to do, right? That doesn't happen like that anymore, right? And now I find myself in this new space of comfortability. Who would have figured? Even when I still don't know all, right? Hold on, guys. So, here we are. Expanding furthermore. Because you're the bridge. The rainbow bridge. Oh, there's only here. Rainbow connection, there's the dreamers and me. Rainbow connection, there's the dreamers and me. I don't know, but that's what I'm hearing. You know, whatever that song is. The lovers, the dreamers and me. The lovers, the dreamers and me. The lovers, the dreamers, the lovers, and sorry. The rainbow connection. The rainbow connection. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? Not all the rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told that some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, they can't see it. I can't get the beat now. Someday we'll find the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Wait. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that and someone believed it. And look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. I don't know. All of us singers. I gotta get the beat. I want to get the beat now. Like, where is it? Let me see. We're gonna get the beat. The rainbow connection. That's what this is gonna be called. 1 and 2. Hurry up. Commercial. Sorry. I need the lyrics. I don't know why I didn't just put it on Spotify. Sorry. Forgive me. Rainbow connection. Rainbow connection. Oh, from the Muppet Babies. Oh, okay. I don't know, but let me see. Here we go. I don't know, but we're gonna do this. Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been. No, there has to be another song. But who else sings them? Single artist. The rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. I'm singing the Sarah McLachlan. When wished on the morning star. Look at the questions. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that. And someone believed it. And look what it's done so far. Beautiful. Which, right, what's so amazing? It keeps us stargazing. Right, which brings me to we got disconnected, right? And so I went outside. And I walked on the grass and I made my connection with spirit through nature, the trees, the air, right? And I wrote, because that's my most go-to natural element before even speaking. I'd rather write it down, right? I wrote it down. And I wrote down the clarity of the message of these two videos compiled together before all the babbling, right? Because I'm learning my rainbow bridge connection of being a conduit of messages while now allowing the human who operates this on this 3D perceived reality, right? The one that's speaking to you right now, articulating, right? The human's consciousness is present now, participating, right? There's a unification, right? Bridged, right? Creating the bridge, highlighting through however it is that I express, whether it's verbally or not, you know, in some other shape or form. But in doing so, the bridge that's formed here, right, that's new for me, experiencing it, is the partnering that's now happening between the channel and the human, right? And the learned, the learning that continues too, but the already what has been learned, right, through one's experience, right, through the dissecting, the discovering, the throwing everything you think you have known up until date into the garbage to start again afresh so that you can process, discern, learn, understand the concepts of understanding something, understanding something, so that you can overstand it. Do you see that bridge, the rainbow bridge of new that is up to you to create by the actions you navigate and execute and discipline yourself enough to continue letting go of time and the human limitation of expectancy, so that no interference creates that distortion that is, or has been, most dominant in this 3D perceived land of existence, right? Prior to the human participating in the channeling, whenever the human intercepted a channeling message, all was lost. So if you even see the journey of my videos, I have babbled every channel flow through, and at some point in even just the channeling too, the human will come into awareness too and be like, huh? What was I saying? And so therefore, numerous videos are incomplete with information because the channel stopped, right? Right? So sometimes, many times, because I always justify the human would be like, oh, well, I know that in time I'll finish that conversation or whatever it was that I was saying at a later date, which is true. I have done it numerous times. But now there's a unification within, right? It's like when you know better, you do better kind of thing, right? I'm only sharing with you an example. I'm not saying this is for you, but take in it the exampling, the energy of the message that's attempting to be conveyed to understand it best for you at this time and apply it to you however it is that it's going to be applied to you. Okay? So I went outside and I wrote down the overall message of this video. No matter what happens in between, after, or however it is that I end, the purpose of the second video is to convey the message that was attempting to be said in its totality, which is new for me. And I'm sharing it in its development through having to articulate Spirit's message for you at this time right now in terms of what the fudge is happening and why movement is important and how the message here is designed, alchemized to further inspire you into peaceful alignment with where you are right now. Because the energies, the external stimuli out there are pretty turbulent. And I was bringing up the 50-50s before because there's 50-50, right? There was the 100 students in this class, 50 are finding this turbulence, external, rough, right? That it still messes with their vibration and frequency a little bit. Then there's the other 50 that's dealing with this turbulence focused, clear, not emotionally attached to anything that is occurring, because the discipline that has been accumulated over time because of the work in that discipline that was done, let's say, in the 2017, 18, 19 time, 2020, it's solid now. And so it doesn't mean that that's it. There's nothing more to learn or anything. It's plenty. It's never ending. It's infinite. But it's just a different placement, right? Doesn't make one exempt from having to do things, go through stuff, learn stuff, or have challenges, right? It's just a different mindset of the challenges now as opposed to once upon a time. And then the other 50-50 that's still working on that, getting to this space of mentality that the other 50 finds himself being, right? Yet, the whole, the 100, in this spirit message, share the same guidance to apply in whatever way, shape, form that you, the receiver, shall receive this in the whole. So I went outside and I wrote about the message. Executing our visualizations into manifestations because they are yet tangible and elected. Alright, so when I was outside, I got brought back to the moment in reference to video number 1 where I was talking about this feathering, right? Which brought me into a lot of babbling stuff because I was saying that if I was tech savvy, that I would make a visual for you to see the circle that I am creating here for you to lighten your load and to with clarity, right? Because to simplify whatever it is that you are being clear with yourself about that you're releasing. And then part of the babbling from the video number 1 was me going off, right? Just saying about how when thank you so much. I was saying that if I was tech savvy, that I would show this, right? Visual of the circle that I'm creating for you to then throw into that circle what you were letting go of right now, right? Because this is a healing channel, right? Right. But then it got me into opening up another layering of expansion, right? In terms of conditioning, right? So that, because if you could understand your conditioning and see it for what it is, detached from that understanding, right? Then you are then now better equipped and able to find your inner stand to that understand, which is separate. Now with this leveling of comprehension, you are then now afforded the opportunity to reach your most highest of potentials. That would be more desirable for you too, because this is alignment to know your truth. Right? To now bridge the new that is you, right? That is righteous too, right? Because everything in this realm of 3D perceived reality of existence, from the moment you were born, has been taught to you, shown to you, told to you. Not separate from it, but as you, a part of you. This is yours. Find your place in it and act in accordance to this that has been set before you. Right? So I just wrote, so when I had said that, it was to bring furthermore awareness to your conditioning, which then can further expand your heart of compassion to have towards yourself, in being so motherfucking hard on yourself when you don't perfect something new that you're trying to do, or when you backslide, or when you don't do what you know you want to be doing, because it goes outside the element of already what you're accustomed to do. Like if you were raised to write with your right hand and now all of a sudden you have to learn to write with your left, it's going to be a challenge for you, right? But that's handwriting. Okay. I mean, you know, that's not the greatest of examples. But let's say if you were taught to eat with these kind of spices, and then you learn that those spices are bad for you, and so they tell you the healthy spices to use, and you have to relearn all of that, and then one day you're just hungry, and everything that you know or have eaten or whatever is available, and so you go and you eat that right thing that you're accustomed to, used to, whatever, and then you beat yourself up about it, right? Because you're only doing what you were taught, what you were conditioned, right, to act upon. No. So now you're trying to create a new that is only you doing it, right? Because everybody else is still eating that and whatever. So it's challenging, right? It's challenging to sometimes do what's right in a world of what we're learning to take in as wrong, or it's just not for us. You can look at it as wrong, which is judgmental, or you can release that too, because that's part of your conditioning, to judge everything before you, to compare it and contrast it to you. So let that go too. It's just not for me. Well, what is? Let me learn that, since I know that's not for me. And you know, I don't resonate with it, don't like it, don't want it, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to explain myself. It's not for me. Right? So the whole feather circle and the breakdown of this whole entire 2 videos for me, for with you, is the belief system. that is very non-existent for so many, because of things that are not seen or hard, that we have to bring into the reality, because you're conditioned to only believe the things that you see. What do you mean? What do you mean? Since exiting your mother's womb, or however it is that you have came into existence in this 3D plane of existence, right? Whether it was fashioned into you bluntly to say, the only things that are real are the things that you see, or just part of our generational conditioning to become accustomed to only acknowledging that which is tangible. Like a saying, out of sight, out of mind. Why is it so easy to be out of sight, out of mind? Right? So if I don't have to see it, then I don't have to think about it. So how real is it? Right? That goes deep too, but I don't mean to go into that kind of thing too. But what was I saying? Oh, let me read. I just saw the time and I have to go. Executing our visualizations. Okay, so it's going into that kind of concept. So it's like we lack the discipline of such a creation because we are conditioned to learn already. Because we are conditioned to learn already made things and created things, right? And we are told to mold, adapt, and find resonance with and establish it in some way, shape, and form as our own. And by the time we get through this debacle, which is for most of the populations of mundane living their existence unaware of their own potential and how to execute it, so we are learning and it is challenging, but no matter what. I'm sorry, because I was outside doing it and I didn't reread this and I just came back in and I hit record and stuff like that. Right. Okay, so the whole freaking thing was too, right? We're going to do the feather closing of you simplifying what it is that you are throwing into this alchemized circle of transmutation that will bring forth to you exactly the clarity that you need. Because the whole thing that I was saying, which was going to be an example for me to give to you, was that if you didn't know how to simplify what it is that you're releasing, because it's so much and it's just chaotic and you want it all to go and you can't see with clarity what it is, then to then use these words that I'll share with you to put into this circle so that no matter what, you still receive the clarity, answers, miracle, resolution, solution that you need in order for you to continue to proceed forward and do whatever it is that is called upon you to do in accordance and in alignment to you. You know, that's cool. Right? So the whole thing too of this kind of stuff is that without a visual, it's harder to pull someone in to see something that's not there and say, hey, toss it in there. Your worries, your stress, your whatever it is that you don't want anymore, right? You want to release and believe that you're going to receive some kind of clarity and miracle. But if you can understand that the only reason it feels like that for you is because that is conditioned in you. And it's just been a repetition of behavioral patterning and generational conditioning that has been playing itself out, that has supported the conditioning that you feed when you act in accordance to the ritual of the construct that has been taught to you to understand, right? But if you can see it for what it is and its conditioning, then you can detach emotionally from the experience of it, seeing it for what it is, and then finding your understanding to how you feel about whatever it is that is already here. And that's understanding. It's understanding what you are under in this perceived reality, right? And now learning your path that is new, that there is no example of, because you're the creator. So the next time you're being hard on yourself on your journey, beating yourself up because you still didn't meet to the expectations or measures or levels of perfection you hold yourself to, because of conditioning too. Because conditioning has taught you to treat yourself like that. So when you can see that for that too, I'm like, wow, that is part of my conditioning. So how would I treat myself? How should I treat myself? Wait a minute. Let me show myself a little bit more compassion to know that I am unlearning behaviors that I have only known. So this is all new for me. Hey. So believe in the power of alchemy and alignment. That when you are clear, you can move, my dear. See this circle. It is a portal of healing alchemy created for you to take from you that which is heavy, painful, traumatic, lingering, blocked, unclear, hurtful, respectful. Not yours. From others. Behaviors, patterns, conditionings. that do not serve. And take all that which I cannot see, that influences me, that is toxic to me and to others. And take all distortions, all unhealthy patterns, behaviors, conditions, and take all lies, and take all hateful energies, negative energies, entities, and I throw them into alchemy's fire, to alchemy's circle portal of transmutation, knowing that in my release, I now am open to receive all that which is for me, as this portal takes in all that which I throw in that is not serving in. And I make light, and I shine bright, knowing that this process takes all in and servitude of alchemy, alchemy's home, creates and perfectly itself. And so, I receive. The challenge for us all, no matter where we are, is sticking with our own unique visualization. And becoming that rainbow bridge of example. Becoming that rainbow bridge of light reflection, of light projection. The rainbow bridge of energy source, of amplified power, empowering itself by rainbow bridging the new, even when alone. Rainbow bridge, building traction, revealing our truest origins. Our truest origins, a mystery to us all, and yet still sharing something in common. Everything we know to be originated came from something. Came from someone else. And that something or someone else shares the same origin as do we. And if we trace back these origins, we'll find nothing. Because nothing created something. The evolution of nothing realizing that it is actually something. star, magnificent and phenomenal and majestic and magic and amazing in all its light and dark attributes. Nothing wanted to be something, and so it became. It became so many somethings that it forgot it's nothing. Ain't that something? Nothing became aware of its nothing and wanted more. So it birthed something. And that something became more. And that something became more. All out of nothing. How long was nothing before it was something? Time is of the essence, darling. But at some point, the nothing that was once discovered to feel tangible became something that needed to become real. Nothing was always the Rainbow Bridge. Why are there so many songs about rainbows and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it, and who they're wrong, just wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I lost it. Wait. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Look at that. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something I'm supposed to be. See, finding your voice. Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Welcome to your the rainbow connection. Peace out, Cub Scouts. We are done.